Hi, this is Robert at StocksMovingNOW.com. Just wanted to bring to your attention this stock symbol NLST, currently spiking up from 362 to a little over $4. 1 minute volume currently 69,000 shares. The stock has been as high as $6.50 over the last 6 weeks. Let's take a look at the daily chart over the last 6 months. It has been as high as 798. So we saw this spike up here, in November last year, and then here where it got all the way up to almost $8. So something's definitely happening now. Currently the 1 minute bar, we're at 191,000 shares. Let's go ahead and bring up the new highs. There's NLST. Let's take a look at Google, see if there's any news on this stock. Turning over a new leaf, looks at NLST. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones Newswire available from Scottrade and NLST. Something's definitely happening here. 1326, that's today. MetaRAM won't sell MetaRAM DDR3 controllers. NetList announced a settlement of patent infringement lawsuits with MetaRAM. Okay, so that's definitely good news. Apparently the market's responding well to this. Let's continue to watch this. Certainly we want it to break out here above 417. Let's take a look at that news again. So they won't be selling NLST. They won't sell MetaRAM DDR3 controllers. I don't know if that's a positive or negative. At any rate, it looks like the patent lawsuit was settled between NetList and MetaRAM. Let's look at the Yahoo, see if there's any more information on Yahoo here. Announced a settlement of patent infringement lawsuits with MetaRAM. Pleased to successfully resolve this case. So the patent lawsuit's been, obviously whenever a lawsuit's resolved, especially favorably, you know, a company obviously is going to have a spike in volume here. We'll see if this can continue on. Right now it looks like it had an initial spike and it's kind of pulled back. Obviously volume here at 800 shares, that's not a good sign. You want to continue on this path of having hundreds of thousands of shares traded. But certainly this is breaking news. Let's go ahead and watch this and see if this volume can pick up here. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting some volume. 23,000 shares, 42,000 shares. We need to see this break out above this high of 417 for it to go higher. Let's go back here to the 5-day chart. But this is exactly why StocksMovingNOW is a great website to help you decipher all of this information that's coming in on the new highs and the new lows. Excuse me. We've got the different industries. This particular one isn't, it hasn't been identified by an industry. We have support and resistance, which we're also missing on this particular stock. But we do notice here it's going up 2.97% in the last 60 seconds. Initially picked this up at 1325, which is right on this number here. But we actually caught this a bit earlier here. And as you can see, it looks like it's headed higher. Look at this big spike. We're getting a lot more volume now. I believe this stock, if we go back and just see where the next resistance level would be based upon the daily chart over the last 6 months, looks like we can have a good target here, even up to the $6 range. We're pushing up through this area here, the low here, $4.31. We can get through that, especially with this positive news. I believe we're headed higher. I believe the stock is going to go much higher, actually, especially with this big spike in volume here. You could see NLST here in the light blue. Those are new highs for the day, and it's pushing through that. We also see, for example, Wells Fargo there, but that's not a new high for Wells Fargo for the day. But each time it's in light blue here under this Market Movers Java app that's provided by Scottrade, that's telling us that it's moving higher for the new highs for the day, breaking out. And obviously with all this volume and the news, I believe the stock's going to head much higher actually. Let's even if we split the difference between this price and $6, and we end up anywhere here in the $5 range, that's still, well, 10% of 420 would be 42 cents. So it could almost be about a 20% move up from here if we get into the $5 range. This stock obviously has a history of being volatile. It's had some big price swings. If you look at this one, between the low and the high for the day, low is $5.05, high is $6.87. So it's got a potential of $1.80 there on its biggest day here. We aren't saying that it's like that every day. But obviously with this amount of volume and this news, I believe the stock will head up above 5. It'll probably hit 5 and then pull back a bit. But let's go ahead and just watch this for a little bit. This is an amazing move right now. The stock NLST, which is Netlist, certainly spiking higher. If we look back here on Google charts, yeah, the next resistance, we've got a number here at 443, then we're at 478, and then we're pretty much back up here to 5. So I believe this thing's going to hit 5. Great news, lots of volume, pretty volatile stock. So let's just watch this a few minutes longer, and probably might come back to it later if it continues to advance. But again, StocksMovingNOW.com, pick this up. Big percentage change in price. We confirm that by looking at the chart here on Scottrade. Also notice the news here on the Dow Jones news wires. So I think it's a good kind of combination of resources here that we've got between my site at StocksMovingNOW.com and Scottrade. Of course, same news that we saw earlier where they've settled this patent infringement lawsuits with MetaRAM. Looks like it was settled in the company's favor. That's why the stock is spiking up. Looks like we have a little bit of a pullback here, but we're going to just keep watching this for a few more minutes. And again, Stocks Moving Now does not constitute a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold any security or derivative whatsoever. You should not consider any such information as a recommendation. That's just purely information telling you what the new highs and the new lows are for the day. Currently, the market is in a position where there's more lows than highs. You can tell this by this ratio of highs to lows, 0.2217. If we were to look at the ratio of lows to highs, here we've got 10 new highs, and this data is listed as of the last 60 minutes for the day, so it's really all about what's happening right now. This shows the new lows, which 2.3125 lows to highs. So there's 32 new lows versus the 10 or 15 new highs. But again, we were looking at NLST, continues to move higher. We're looking at 420 currently from a low here of 358. Let's continue to watch this. I'm going to go ahead and close this out now, and we'll post this on YouTube.